Me after living on 3 Oreos and 2 hours of sleep.
If you're ready, you can hit play.
I know this one. Yeah.
I did a whole scene analysis or something on this one.
Me too.
You watched it already?
Mm-hmm. I think you showed us.
I showed you?
Been there. Oh, I love those mouth noses. Damn.
Or like the class. Or maybe you told Christian and Christian showed us. It's so pretty.
Look at how she's holding her hand, like her pen.
This is so relatable.
Yeah, very relatable.
I love the line style.
That's really interesting sound.
I never paid attention to it.
Yeah.
Very effective music.
Oh, it makes it so much better. Yeah.
Huge difference.
What a mood.
That must have been so much fun to do. Damn.
Me after living on 3 Oreos and 2 hours of sleep.
Whoa, that sounded violent.
Falling asleep in class or having my head turned into a bowling ball? Both. Yeah.
All good.
I love how you can do if it's with him, like POV, the sound design is immense.
Super abstract.
I like that they're like very vibrant.
Vibrant, but also not like in a bad way. Oh.
Like underwater.
It still fits together. Ooh, it's getting faster. Oh no, what's happening? Is he having a stroke? What the hell?
I really like this part. Where the lines get all...
It's such a cool switch of style.
I love this transition from the class to this dream.
He's trying really hard to keep him awake.
It's really trippy, like But what is he doing though? Like, what is he dreaming? I don't dream like that.
Trying to wake himself up, I guess.
It conveys this feeling of when you're asleep and things kind of flow together or in another, but you're not really asleep.
Is he dying? I think this is the one part that I'm not sure I fully understood.
Yeah, it's that state of mind right in between, like when you're awake and asleep.
Like, I always thought it was like different versions of himself.
Well, yeah, I think so too.
I feel like the animator here really captures it very well.
Life as a teacher.
Oh, he just keeps on going.
This says a lot about the teacher.
I mean, he's still getting paid for this, so
Best job.
might as well just sleep as well.
Oh. How the pupils expand. Just.
I want a teacher like this.
It's from Korea? I didn't know.
Everyone's sleeping.
That's a likable teacher.
Hell yeah.
I was teaching a class once, and I told my dad about how difficult it is, and he was like, you know, you're getting paid in the end of the day. Just be there and try to do what you can.
That's what happens when you have a class in the afternoon.
Afternoon Class is a 2015 graduation film by Seoro Oh. It's produced by Jangkang College of Cultural Industries, so it's made in South Korea.
Actually, I think this character, it's himself, and he's done another short. I think it's titled OO, and it's about getting a cold.
I like how right from the first shot, like very clear exposition of what time it is, and the second shot we understand right away, okay, we're in a classroom. It sets up the whole situation really quick.
Even with the sound, it already tells you, oh, time's going slow.
And in the classroom you only ever hear the ticking sound, right? Yeah, the classroom, that's like, we call it like atmos for atmosphere. Sounds you hear in the background, like if you're in a street you hear like cars and people walking and talking and stuff, and we call that ambi or atmos, right? I think what he does well is
is visualize certain feelings. You can look at his stuff, or you can look at the visualizations, like the head getting heavy or just swinging all over the place, and I get that. I've felt that before.
What does the spit do? It makes a little loop. Spit. More spit. It really drags around.
What principle of animation is shown here?
I wanted to say drag and drop, but that's not
Overlapping action. Here is like overlapping with his mouth and head.
Makes everything very heavy. Oh, his head is heavy, his mouth corner is heavy, the spit is heavy.
I want to say it again, like the way that she's holding her pen, she's like,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
I also like the expression here. It's like one moment it's like very angrily trying to stay awake, then it's just sleeping.
His expression here, how he falls asleep and then he comes back. The animator really shows him struggling with himself to try and stay, was about to say alive.
Alive, awake, same thing.
Those mouth noises are very nice and disgusting. Like this, where he's rubbing his eyes, and it's like, or something like that. Ah, yes, here. Ah, so disgusting. Oh, but I love these smear frames.
They're very painterly, I suppose, but that might also come from the fact that it's like a lineless style.
The smears, they're used to simulate what a camera can do, because you're filming at 24 frames per second, and sometimes the movement of your arm, for example, there are not enough frames to capture every single space, and so this movement is smeared, and animation kind of tries to emulate that.
I really like that. It's so nice because it like emphasizes the movement and how like he's not completely solid. He's like kind of fluidy, I guess.
There are also different ways of doing smears. That you have this, like a liquid. Anime has a different type of smears. Action lines going with the part of your body that you're moving. Cartoons, like in the 1940s, for example, they're more about like actually stretching the part of the body that you're moving.
These bits where his head turns into different objects, I think you more so call morphs.
Wow, I love how seamless all of the transitions are and very fluid. They sell his state of mind.
I mean, his head kind of dissolves.
It's morphing.
Yeah, his head almost completely dissolves into like these blobs and then like reforms itself into this weird ball shape with a brain in it.
This part where he's trying to awake himself by poking a pen into his leg, like it's so enhanced by the sound design. That's crazy. It hurts so bad to listen and watch it.
Oh, just one thing, like about these shots, just flat shots where we just see him moving without his head transforming, like the comedic effect of this. It really shows you how, depending on from which perspective you show the situation of a character, it can be comedic, it can be sad, it can be nauseating. I like how they use sound design to emphasize this.
And I really love how they like use the parts where there's no sound or very minimalistic in comparison to really heavy, full impact sounds.
In this like animation class, we're actually allowed to like go into that direction of sound design. So we both are also studying sound design.
I think it's not usual for an animation school to be that broad with what you can learn.
So it's really cool. And we have the best sound teachers.
Shout out.
The way it's timed here, like almost in 2 frames. Here it's slow in the beginning, and then here it really sells the impact. And I like how the head is just completely rigid, like it's not squashing or stretching.
Makes the head very hard.
I really love that they chose to use a style where it's like the hands are part of the face, and they just show the lines that are really necessary to see like those facial features.
No outlines.
It wouldn't show like this part of the hand.
In the dream sequence, there's only outlines.
And it's very
and
sketchy.
Super colorful and sketchy.
I wonder how he went about thinking of how to illustrate that. If he like hit his head a couple times just to re-experience it.
Oh, his eyes are getting redder and redder. I didn't even realize.
His eyes, so trippy.
Oh yes, those look so nice. It's like visualizing that thing where you're dizzy and then you start seeing stars all around.
Yeah.
And that's the midpoint of the film. You're supposed to have something important happening at that point, according to the 3-act structure.
Personally, my favorite part is when he like goes all squiggly. He's just like passing out.
Here it's all just very minimal, just a few lines to describe these characters.
But yeah, the Foley's is special because there's a lot of action going on, almost no sounds to like make it real. Foley's are like all the noises, like footsteps,
Noises that the
exactly,
body makes,
the
like the
clothes.
human.
The lines are just in color and it's so rough. All from the same angle or perspective, I feel like. I like it. I like how trippy it is.
I guess they're taking like the ticking of the clock but turn it into a musical element. It's super filtered. The whole scene is filled with this kind of wobbly, deep sound. I'm sure they equalized it and just
top
super
and the bottom.
low loudness.
So he basically lived his whole life in this sequence where he falls asleep.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of special, I think, because you have to do all the sounds in comparison to live action where you have to replace some sounds maybe. But it's really beautiful to do because you get like the finished images and you like give it life through sound. Like you don't have all the struggle of animating and still the joy of giving life to images.
That gives you like so much more like free space. Because it's not live action, right? You can think much more into it or how it could sound.
And humans are super naive. If you have an image, you can go really wild with the sound and the audience will believe it.
And I like how throughout the whole film, the camera never really stays still. Like it always moves around a little bit and it gives this feeling of...
Drowsiness.
Yeah. And it's like we're also about to fall asleep while watching this. The frame, like very obfuscated. The main character is separated from the background. It's all about him. It's an inner struggle.
Yeah,
outside.
color-wise as well. Well, his face is very red and the background is very blue. And blue is a calm color, so it's perfect to fall asleep.
It starts with the clock ticking and it ends with the clock ticking. Just quiet. I love that they're coming like back to like the circle.
Yeah.
I mean, because every afternoon class is like this.
Thank you so much for reacting.